Okay, after it's sparred up, next I'm going to glue the elevons on. And we're going to be using E6000 to glue the elevons on. This is a real easy process. First thing you want to do is get the wing back in the saddle, exactly where it's supposed to be, and then pin it down in a couple places. Make sure to weight it down. And then we're going to line up this elevon. We're going to be using T-pins. Just make sure the elevon is centered right there where you got about a 1/16 of an inch gap on each side. And then push it up against the leading edge of the wing there. And at the back here at the end, push some pins in to push it in that direction. Okay. What that'll do is that pushes that hinge line up nice and tight. Okay. Now, next thing is going to use masking tape. I just happen to have, I think it's just 1 inch, 3/4 inch work just fine. And we're going to put a piece, about a 1/16 of an inch in the elevon, not much, because we want to make this hinge pretty much the full length of it. Now, I'm going to take this piece of tape, let's put the two in pieces, and put these probably about 3/8 of an inch away from each side, 3/8 to 1/4 away from the hinge line on each side. Okay. Put the tape down. Now take a pin and go in there and lightly pull up the leading edge of the elevon so it's flush. There we go. So it's nice and flush with the trailing edge of the wing right there. Okay, I've already done the side over here. You might tape up both sides because this goes rather quickly. Okay, when you get that part done there, now we're just simply going to take the E6000. And I think this thing works, this is the same as a goop hinge technique, but I think E6000 works better because it's the glue flows in a little better. Also, this E6000, once the carrier dries out of it, it's just about as light as CA. So we're going to put a good bead in the center of that. What we want to do is make sure we have enough to spread it out and get full coverage, and then we're going to squeegee it off. Okay, it doesn't hurt to put a little too much because we're going to spread it out. Now, when you get a good bead in there, take an old credit card, any type of plastic card, and first thing we're going to do is go in there and just kind of make sure we fill all the space in with the E6000. No? And once you got all the space, now take the credit card, piece of paper towel, and we want to squeeze up. Also, like everything else, keep the wings weighted in place, and then take the credit card and then just lightly squeeze it off. You can see how much glue I took off out of that right there. You may do this a couple of times, just lightly, and press down just a little bit. The tape becomes the thickness of the hinge line. And once that looks pretty good like that, okay, there we go. Now we're going to leave that to dry for just a couple of minutes, and we'll peel the tape off of it. In the meantime, we will do the other side. See how this goes rather quickly. And when it dries, it'll give you a nice, good hinge line. It's pretty strong, and then of course it's going to get a lot of laminate over as well. Here, you get an idea after you use it a couple times. It's better to put too much on there than not enough, because you're going to be squeegeeing most of it off anyway. I'm not sure if you can see this side on the camera, but do this side. Okay, now we got the glue in. this thing about 5 minutes to set up, and then we're going to peel the tape of it off. Okay, after about 5 minutes, now we're just going to peel off the tape. You don't want to let it set much longer than that, because the last thing you want to do is glue the tape to the wing. And just carefully peel it off. It'll come off real easily. Just pull all of it off. And for that, you should have a nice, good hinge line. And you want to leave everything just pinned up, set up in the blocks for at least an hour or so with this E6000 set up. And that's all there is to it. We'll put a hinge line on there. Okay. After the elevons have dried, got your hinge line. Okay. In this case, I'll let it dry overnight. Just let it dry. It's got to have a good time to dry. What you'll find out is when you move the elevons in, this is looking at the bottom side, they tend to bind right there. So a real simple solution to that is just take your knife, and it's just going to be on the inner ones. Outer ones seem to be okay. All you have to do is take your knife and get it working on the bottom of the wing, and then just slice the inner part of the elevon down, just like that, so it easily clears. Because you want this elevon to move freely, because it'll have some laminate on the edges. You want plenty of room there to make sure there's no binding at all. There we go.